How can you replace Nico Collins while he's on the IR? Let's get into it. Obvious answer, and the first answer is either trade or you have Tank Dell or Stephon Diggs, right? Like both of those guys' roles are going to increase with, of course, Nico Collins going to be out 4 weeks, right? So Diggs is probably the guy that's been the most productive, probably gets more looks. Tank has upside, right? Like 30 fantasy points 1 week he could get, or he could get 5, right? Like he's a guy that I was pretty high on before the draft. Dealt with some injuries, hasn't been targeted as much as, I've wanted him to be. But this is the time for Tank Dell to break out. If you can trade for him, buy low, this is the time to do it. Or if you can trade for Diggs, another guy that you can get. And I wouldn't give up too much because Collins, I don't think, misses more than 4 weeks. But it's still like you need to replace his production, and it's hard to do so. You could also pick up some guys on the waiver wire, right? Like Jalen Tolbert. Juju Smith-Schuster, although it was just 1 game, still Juju Smith-Schuster should have a role moving forward. Josh Downs, if he's somehow still available in your league. Or even Ray McLeod, who even has a role as the wide receiver 3 on this Falcons team. They've been pass heavy the last few weeks. Ray has gotten a role, 9.2 average fantasy points, 11.5% roster. It's another guy. Now let's get into the trade pieces, right? Like besides Dell and Diggs, buying low on a guy like Jackson Smith and Jigba makes sense here. Or Darnell Mooney. Like I don't think his role, sure, he's not going to score 30 plus fantasy points probably the rest of the season, but I do think 10 to 15 on a weekly basis is something in the realm of, it's possible for sure. Even a guy like Khalil Shakir, out last week, right? The game before had an off game. This is the time to buy low on a guy that's probably the top option for Josh Allen in the passing attack. But the fact of the matter is it's impossible to replace the production of Nico Collins. You just have to stay stagnant and win a few games in the meantime while he's out, right? Like maybe go 2-2. Sure, it'd be great if you could go 4-0, but just stay afloat until this guy who's a clear wide receiver 1, possibly the wide receiver 1 overall, returns. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you follow for more content like this.